So I was in a couple of conversations today on some lives, including my own, where we were talking about proximity to whiteness. There's a huge misconception about what proximity to whiteness is. First of all, proximity to whiteness means that you have proximity to white supremacy. So the ultimate idea of white supremacy is a straight, cisgendered, rich, white male. That is what they consider the ultimate whiteness. So anybody that holds privilege within the white supremacy matrix that we're in has proximity to whiteness. If you are a male, you hold proximity to whiteness just by being male. Misogyny exists. Men have more privilege than women. If you are straight, you hold proximity to whiteness. Straight people are not being attacked for our sexuality. LGBTQ people are. If you are cisgendered, meaning you identify with the sex that you are born with, you hold proximity to whiteness. If you are educated, you hold proximity to whiteness. Education is afforded to white people where it's not afforded to black and brown people, and we've had to fight for our rights to gain the access to education. If you are rich, you hold proximity to whiteness. If you have an American accent, you hold proximity to whiteness. Anything that affords you privilege in a white supremacy world affords you proximity to whiteness. There is not a single person in this country that does not hold proximity to whiteness. Proximity to whiteness is not just about skin tone, and is conflating what colorism is with racism. Claiming Mexicans or other brown Latinos hold proximity to whiteness is harmful to my people. It's harmful to indigenous people because it undermines, it dismisses, and ignores our oppression, our struggles, our pain, and our fights. It's an excuse to say, oh, you don't have it as bad because you have this proximity to whiteness. It perpetuates oppression Olympics. It gives permission for people to speak over indigenous people, Mexican people, brown Latinos when it comes to our history. Misconstruing proximity to whiteness is a tool of white supremacy. And if you don't understand proximity to whiteness, then you don't understand white supremacy.
Welp, here we go again. The queen of misinformation, BGP, is doing what she does best, spreading falsehoods. This irks my soul because, truthfully, she has no idea what she's talking about 80% of the time. I've heard her push this nonsense before, including the absurd claim that black men carry proximity to whiteness simply because of their gender. This kind of misinformation is dangerous. It can have real consequences. That's why it's important to set the record straight. Let's talk about what proximity to whiteness actually means. Proximity to whiteness functions within a racial hierarchy, something I've broken down multiple times. Those who physically align with European beauty standards are granted proximity to whiteness because their hair texture, skin tone, and features conform to what society deems acceptable. This alignment often leads to economic and social advantages that are not afforded to those with more stereotypically African or indigenous features. The idea isn't just theoretical. Scientific studies have proven time and time again that individuals perceived as more attractive receive better treatment in society. And what is often considered attractive? Features that are closer to whiteness. Now, let's address another harmful claim BGP has made, her belief that black men have more privilege than women of color. This is simply false. Black men exist at the bottom of the racial hierarchy that was established in the 1400s. The only privilege they may experience is in comparison to black women, due to male privilege in a patriarchal society. However, black men do not have privilege over other women of color, because in the broader racial hierarchy, groups like Latinos are positioned higher. A prime example of this racial hierarchy in action is the concept of mejorar la raza, which translates to improving the race in many Latino communities.
It looks so dark in this. No, why do I? Mom.
Look pale.
Mom.
Look at me. I don't know why. Okay.
Mira, I'm morenita. morenita now. Like morenita.
You are morenita.
Khaleesi, come here. Khaleesi, come here.
It's my decision.
You're recording.
It's my decision. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Can I go blind?
It's gonna wash you out so bad.
Here.
No, I care. I'm not gonna let you do
No,
that.
stop, please.
Parecer India.
That's why. So let me dye my hair.
You want like an Indian?
Yeah.
Camelia, you can go blonde. I feel like it would suit
Yeah,
you.
Camelia.
No. A loser.
Why are you crying? You're not gonna dye your hair. Estás loca. No te voy a dejar hasta que...
You're letting Camelia dye her hair blonde.
Because
You're
she's
letting
lighter. She's
Mija.
lighter.
Mom, you're always letting everybody. You're literally choosing a favorite black girl. Where's the line? Choose one measure, baby.
Primer-
Black girl. Where's the line? Choose one measure, baby. Because you're
Primeramente-
hilarious. Second of all, you
Primeramente,
think
baja...
Take a look at the video I referenced. In it, a young girl calls herself morenita, which means dark-skinned in Spanish for those who don't understand. In many Latino communities, this is seen as a negative thing. You can visibly see how her older sister and mother reinforced this harmful belief, further damaging the child's self-esteem. These are psychological wounds that she will likely carry into adulthood. This pattern of behavior is not unique, it's widespread in the Latino community and stems from a long history of colonial brainwashing. Generations of Latinos have been conditioned to devalue darker skin tones and instead strive for whiteness. Teaching children to seek lighter-skinned partners in order to improve the family's racial appearance is a direct symptom of this deeply embedded ideology.
No pido nada extraordinario, solo un nombre de verdad.
Let's bring this back to BGP's contradictions. She claims that everyone has privilege and that having privilege automatically grants you proximity to whiteness. But then, she contradicts herself by arguing that Latinos and Native Americans don't have proximity to whiteness.
Anything that affords you privilege in a white supremacy world affords you proximity to whiteness. There is not a single person in this country that does not hold proximity to whiteness. Proximity to whiteness is not just about skin tone. It is conflating what colorism is with racism. Claiming Mexicans or other brown Latinos hold proximity to whiteness is harmful to my people. It's harmful to indigenous people because it undermines, it dismisses, and ignores our oppression, our struggles, our pain, and our fights.
Which one is it? This kind of logical inconsistency proves that she doesn't actually understand what she's talking about. And let's be clear, having an education does not give someone proximity to whiteness. If that were the case, black women, who have some of the highest rates of educational attainment, would automatically be granted proximity. But they aren't. Because proximity to whiteness isn't about intelligence or success, it's about appearance and the societal privileges that come from aligning with whiteness. Misinformation like BGP's is dangerous because it distorts real, systemic issues and misleads people who are trying to understand racial dynamics. Proximity to whiteness isn't just about privilege in the broad sense, it's about racial hierarchy, appearance-based advantages, and how society treats different groups accordingly. So, before we let people like BGP spread more confusion, let's make sure we actually understand the systems at play. Let's keep having these conversations and pushing back against ignorance.